Work literally just depends if people like you. You could be a good worker and dedicated, but if the staff or management decided they don't like you as a person, they'll fire you. I've been fired from places just because the manager decided on the first day they didn't like me and would bully me. Doesn't matter how hard I was working, if I showed up or if I was working overtime. My former boss said, "It's more important to be pretty and popular than to be good at your job." I left that place, but his opinion is unfortunately prevalent. Work is 100 who you know, not what you know. New management means new crew almost every time, no matter what you have done or how long you've been doing it. More on brown noses get promoted. Doesn't matter how hard you work, how good you are at it. If the manager doesn't like you, you're out. I remember a post on our introverts from a bus mechanic whose performance evaluation was split 50-50 between actual job performance and sociability. A bus mechanic for an institutional client school district. He was not customer facing. He worked alone in his own bay, and he worked different hours from the manager. So 50 of his evaluation was based on whether he wanted to stick around after his shift unpaid to yak about nothing. This has been the bane of my existence as an autistic person. Yuppers. Just set the vibes day one and play the game to your advantage. There's so much bullshit, primal posturing, and unwritten code speak. We really need a reality TV series where anthropologists go to different companies and call out people's bullshit. That's really unfair. It's unfortunate how personal biases can impact career opportunities. Damn. So much this. Also, you can have a great job, great rapport with your boss, then it can all go to shit with a new boss. I think that's why a lot of businesses fail, or fail to do well. They predicate everything on whether they like someone, regardless of the person's abilities. Every company has their pets. They get away with doing so little and praised for it. I see it all the time. I just try to be likable enough that managers leave me alone and think I am their buddy. You play the game. Don't let the game play you. And this is part of why autistic adults have an 85% unemployment rate. A large part of the population just will never like us, no matter how well we mask. Hell, most of the time they can't even articulate why they don't like us. Yup. Work was never about performance. It's your fellow citizen deciding whether they like you or not, which is very stupid. It's just a big game of who you know. If you're charismatic and somewhat attractive, you will step over people with higher IQ and competency in whatever field you're in. It took me a long time to figure this out. A lot of people make their job the center of their identity. If you're seen as someone not part of the gang, it's like a waste of a member. If you are the type of person who doesn't like getting super close even if you are friendly people, take that as a rejection of them personally. I was fired for not being a good fit for the team, lol. Pretty much. That's why so many people have a cultivated work persona. The 9-5 gets a toned down version. Your family and friends get the real thing. This is why I hate clicks so much and left my previous job. Manager owner would make my simple mistakes blow it out of the proportion since I was new at that time. Didn't know why I stick around and then demoted me. Suddenly quit as I'm tired of dealing with her BS. She decided one day she didn't like me as I was getting a lot of compliments from my clients. Honestly, I just do what is required of me. Don't overwork myself and be friendly with everyone. Works every time. Full score. Corporate America is just who you're BFF with and who clicks with you. Also clicks. Like the age-old saying goes, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's essentially how any industry is run. If you are friendly with the right people, you have it made. If you aren't, it doesn't matter how hard you work, what credentials you have, you are screwed. I work for Big Pharma. I kissed the right amount of ass and got my job to be remote while everyone else is in office. I kissed enough ass to get my wife hired into a remote role. I kissed enough ass to now I'm working out of country and no one cares. This is the way. Okay, real talk. I learned a long time ago that if you play the game well, you get all kinds of perks and advancements in your career. I hate it, but it's life. Many bosses are basically non-productive dead weight. They strive to continuously justify their existence in an organization. Higher-ups are idiots for believing that crap, but they don't spend much time on it. It might interrupt their tea time. I expect this is why people with autism or social problems or disorders have like a 75% chance of being unemployed. It helps to have an in-demand skill and be better than average at it. But otherwise, yeah. This is not just work. This is how life works. They weren't really a good fit. Fuckers act like we're dating and not trying to not fucking starve to death in a capitalist shit hole dystopia. I mean, yeah, kinda all things depend on if people like you. The quality of most work is subjective. The only thing people really have to go on is if you're easy to get along with, make work easier, etc. You want to do your work well enough that it meets their criteria. Worry about going further when you advance. Otherwise, do your work and be likable. Guess why I can never ever keep a job being autistic, while also being blamed for it when I'm not the one making my life that much harder for no other reason than not being as likable. Sometimes it's better to be feared than liked. And sometimes it's best to be the guy who has enough knowledge and skills that it's more better to let you run wild than to punish you. True, but quite frankly, I'd quit too if I didn't like my boss and coworkers as well. Not if you have a union. My workplace is literally just high school 2.0, cliques and drama and gossip 24/7. So over it. I've seen stuff like this happen. This is true. I've had a lot of jobs for way too long that I should have been fired from, but instead when I'd get in trouble, I'd have bosses say things like, "You're lucky you're likable." Like or need. If you provide something that they need that can't be easily replaced at the same level, you'll be safe because they'll take a hit if they lose you. In fact, need is greater than like for this reason. If they have to fire the person they like or the person making them look good, the person they like is in for a bad day. Yeah, this is somewhat true. Because I don't like dealing in absolutes. A lot of people are pretty much subconsciously shallow and don't even know it. For me, it's not really about if they like me, but also whether I like them. When I like the management team, they are more likely to like me. It's a weird give and take. I have worked for quite a few small business family businesses and they always had a weird cult. You're emo. I feel less culty in my current role for a corporation. But I think it's because I WFH now lol. Laughs in the tism. I've found this to be true and also a source of comfort that I don't have to be the greatest worker ever as long as I'm likable, and that's something I'm sort of okay at. 10 billion. The precursor to me being terminated is when management and HR start praising me. I always stand by my work ethic, and that of the underappreciated employees, resembling that of Boxer the horse. The workhorse always gets worked into oblivion and then thrown away when my management tires of their pet workhorse. At my current employer, I am only a partial workhorse. I actually resemble an eccentric worker bee. By not standing out, I stay employed and will never get to know management. Not become the short-term favorite again. So true. Not just people but your bosses, to be specific. People leave to change managers, not jobs.